Hey guys, welcome back to another first Descendant video, and here what I have for you guys is my updated Luna build guide. On top of that, we're going to go over her 2 Transcendent mods that I finally got, and let's go over some housekeeping critical information. So I'm not going to go over everything that I went over in the last video. You guys could go check that out. I just want to really cover the Transcendent mods, but before we go into that, when you are in her 1, and this is if you guys are leveling up her and weapons. When you go into her 1, you don't gain any weapon XP. I tested this numerous times, and when you're in your unique weapon, you're not gaining any weapon XP. Even if your allies, if you're in a team and your allies are getting kills, you're not. I tested it. It's unfortunate, but when you're leveling up Luna, don't be using her skills because you're not going to level up your weapons along with it. And number 2, I misspoke on one thing on my last video. When you're in her 1, and I did say like you can let the notes pass by. So as you're letting, if you get a couple shots, you're gaining your stacks for the skill power modifier. As you can see, I have 12 stacks. But if you let the notes go by, you're actually decreasing your stacks. So I misspoke by saying you don't have, if you're, just let it go by, but you want to shoot as much as possible as long as you have focus, right? Because otherwise you're gonna be losing your skill power stacks. I'm pretty sure skill power I'm sorry, it's from your passive. So yeah, so inspiration gauge will go down. And I think that's it as far as important information. Alright, so let's go over her build. So what I have here, I finally got Nimble Footsteps, so let's go over this one. So I would say this is best in slot for her. So it basically adds to your passive, and as you're buffing your allies, you're gonna get a stack of Vives, I don't know how to pronounce that, but your Nimble Footstep stacks. And each stack, it's its own duration. So if you were to get it to 20 stacks and you haven't buffed an ally in 20 seconds that I have here because I have duration mods, it'll go from 20 to 19. You're not going to lose everything. So that's really good. On top of that, when you're at max stacks, you're going to gain up to a 10% movement speed buff and 100% skill range boost ratio. So in my last video, I had what was called, let me find it, amplification control, because I had skill expansion and amplification control for 150% skill range. So we were to put those on right now. Alright, so if you had both of these on, you would have about 19.5 meters, and the max is actually 24 meters for your range. And with the stacks of Nimble Footsteps, this is going to add another 100%. However, if you have both of these on, you are gonna, at 15 stacks of the Nimble Footsteps, at 15 stacks, you're going to be at max range. If you don't have amplification control, like I don't here, at 20 stacks, you're going to have shy of 24 meters. You'll probably be like at 23.4 meters from what I tested. So it actually frees up a slot for us. And the only caveat is you just got to get to 20 stacks instead of 15. So if you guys want, you could run this if you want. I don't recommend it because we have Nimble Footsteps now. If you don't have Nimble Footsteps, definitely use amplification control because you'll just have more range. If you have this mod, you don't need amplification control. Alright, so the build's pretty much the same. I ended up using skill simplification, even though we get a negative 25% max MP deduction, but we're already sitting at 375 basically. If you were to take this off, we'll be at almost 500. I have pretty good MP control, so you're not really going to be losing out on MP that much. So, and I'd rather just hit a little bit harder to help my teammates with the one, and when you're shooting, when you're in any of your notes. So yeah, so I added back skill simplification. I kept agony just for the extra defense and the extra max MP to like kind of mitigate this a little bit. Max duration mods, expansion mods, battle stamina for duration and HP, increase defense. Now, obviously, I was going to procedure again, but I wanted to get this video out. For the last 2 mods, I've been really debating back and forth. There is a mod that I was finally aware of thanks to you guys, and it's called Arch Concretion. You could get this from Hard Pyromaniac, and what this does is when you use a skill, you get a gain a stack up, and when you use an enhanced skill, you gain 10 stacks. So max 30 stacks, and you'll gain basically defense and MP percentage. So this is Luna's best in slot, and the movement speed will be mitigated from your nimble footsteps, so you're not really going to be losing much. And firearm attack doesn't matter because you're going to be in your unique weapon form. We do not use any weapons because you're going to just be in your one the entire time and switching between your notes. But if you roll or grapple, all your stacks are removed, so just be aware of that. So I'm still trying to farm this up. Must have farmed Pyromania like 25 times, did not get it yet. So waiting for that one. And for the last mod, so Arch Concretion will go here. And for the last mod, I was just debating a bunch of stuff. You could go Passionate Sponsor. This would definitely work because it's a skill. You're gonna get the skill power modifier stacks, and you'll get 10 stacks pretty much right away as you're changing notes. So that's a 75% skill power modifier for your unique weapon. So that's really good. The firearm attack doesn't matter. So really, you're only getting half of this buff. So you're gonna gain basically your skill power modifier. The firearm attack just won't matter. So that would be over here for this slot. So Arch, Concretion, and then Passionate Sponsor. You could go for the last spot. Let's see. You could go, you know, skill insight for the critical hit rate, just so you could crit more. You know, or you could go front lines, emergency measures. But for the support build, we're not really doing a lot of damage, and we're not really focusing on damage. So that's why I had skill simplification, just to do a little bit of extra damage. But yeah, so Arch, Concretion, and Passionate Sponsor will most likely be the last 2 spots here. I really don't know anything else. You could go Enlightenment for more max MP to mitigate the skill simplification for your last spot. But it's honestly, it's all up to you. You could also go Iron Defense. I was also thinking about this one because more defense, right? Because we're sitting at 22.2. We could get this up more. If we were to do Iron Defense, let's take away the HP really quick. We'll be at 28, almost 29k. So, and we'll get more skill power modifier, which will help with our damage. So, I don't know, guys. I mean, help me come up with the last spot. You could also go increase shield, right? Increase shield will put you at around 3k shield, at least with my setup, which I'll go over in a second. But yeah, but definitely get Arch, Concretion. That's Luna's best in slot. And then honestly, this is whatever you want. Honestly, pick whatever you want. Let's go over the build. So even though we're not using any weapons, the only reason why I have the Divine Punishment is because this is so far the best reactor that I have for her. So you want a non-attribute and a singular Reactor and non-attribute skill power boost ratio with skill duration up. And I finally was able to farm the new set. So this new set is her best in slot. So basically with the 4-piece set, when you use any of your skills, you're going to gain a stack of efflux. And it lasts for 20 seconds each stack, and a maximum of 50 stacks. When you use an enhanced skill, you'll gain what's called wave, and that goes up to 10 stacks. And that one lasts for literally 2 minutes per stack. And then what wave does is that you recover your MP per stack when you hit an enemy with your unique weapon. And then once you reach 50 stacks, it'll convert efflux to tuning, and tuning gives you skill duration proportional to your max MP. So this is really good. I will say, as the support Luna build, you'll eventually get 50 stacks, but it'll take a little longer than the DPS Luna build with her other Transcendent mod, which I'll show you right now. So here I have max. I really got really good rolls. So we got max defense, max HP, MP recovery out of combat, max shield, max MP recovery in combat. We have max shield recovery in combat and defense, and for the processor, max HP, shield recovery modifier, and then the last one is whatever. I didn't roll a max shield, but it is what it is. For the most part, I got pretty good rolls in these, just to have 4 pieces on it. And yeah, so that's a support build. Let's go over the DPS build now. So the other Transcendent magic is called Noise Surge. And what this does is it literally transforms all of your skills into damage skills. And when you hit your skills, you're gonna do like a burst. And when you enhance it, you're gonna be bursting a lot, as you can see in the video right there. So when you use the red, you're gonna get skill critical hit rate. When you use the blue song, you're gonna gain critical hit damage. And then all of these goes up to 26 stacks. And then when you use your ultimate, the purple song, you're gonna gain skill power modifier increase. Now, if you have Noise Surge, honestly, the best skill to use is your ultimate, because it plays a lot faster, and you'll gain skill power modifier increase as well. So you're gonna be hitting harder. So let me show you what this looks like. Actually, before I do that, let's just go over the mods. So, because this is the damage build, I literally went all of the skill critical hit rate, skill critical hit damage, skill simplification, and focus on non-attribute. Obviously, because I don't have these slotted yet, this is probably the most amount of mods you're gonna have for her as a DPS. Like, once I prestige her again, this will go from 8 to 4, and you can slot an HP mod. So, like, my HP is pretty low using the DPS build. You go Iron Defense for more skill power modifier, skill expansion, because it goes from 6 meters to almost 12 meters. And for here, you'll just put increase HP, and I think that's the most amount of slots you'll be able to fit in Luna. Unless you don't go support, you only focus DPS, then you slot the Almadine sockets for these last 3. So, but I like to play support more. So, but I was just testing out the DPS. So the way her DPS works now is you go into her 1, right? And then right away you go into her ultimate. Now, you don't shoot your gun when you're in this mode. Oh, I messed that up. What you do is you gotta hit skill. every time. So you're not shooting, you're hitting your skill. And that's how you do damage. And if you miss, you lose a lot of MP. You gotta make sure you're not missing. And so far, this is probably the most damage I was able to get out of her, because not everything, not all the mods are maxed out, but I'm sure you can definitely get this higher. Now, personal preference, I'm really not a fan of this, even though it looks really, really, really cool. So I will probably use this for farming. But honestly, I think the support Luna is definitely the best way to play her. But this still looks cool. I'll show you the other ones. So that's the blue one, you'll get crit damage. And then the red one is crit rate. So we'll just be critting more. But we don't need it because we're literally at like over 30% crit rate. So we already crit a lot. So that's the build, guys. Obviously you keep what I have here. You know, you still use the Hungry Sonic. Oh, I didn't show you guys. If you guys weren't paying attention, look at the stats on my left side of the screen. See how it just stacks go up way faster than the support version. And that's because you're hitting way more. And the stack does not work when you're shooting the gun. So like here, let's see, it just doesn't work. But you have to use your skills. And that's the build, guys. Let me know what you think. For me personally, I'll be rocking the support Luna build. The DPS looked a lot of fun as well. So that's the video. I'll catch you guys on the next one.